It's almost Trans Am time at Sydney Motorsport Park. John English has been around motorsport for many, many years, and he's one of the driving forces behind the new Trans Am category.
We call it a Trans Am series because we started the series, or the group of cars, probably around 5 or 6 years ago. Over the last 2 years, it's really exploded. It's grown to the stage where a lot of people are asking questions. A lot of people want to get involved. They see it as being a retro series. It's all V8 two-door American muscle cars. It's relatively affordable for most people, and it's bloody exciting. I mean, you see these cars coming around as a pack with a rolling start. It gets the hairs on your arms up, and it's really good stuff.
John English with a few words to say about the Trans Am division, and we have them in force here today at Sydney Motorsport Park.
First time that they've been with us for the Muscle Car Masters, Mike. Let's have a look at the grid and how they line up. Ian Woodward on pole in the Pontiac Firebird. Tobias Lord in the Chevy Camaro that's channeling a little bit of Kevin Bartlett and the old days of the 80s in that car that was such a factor up at the Bathurst 1000. Great field, including Ian Palmer, the former touring car privateer, in a Plymouth. It looks fantastic as we get set for this rolling start. We're on the Gardner circuit, so the traditional Sydney Motorsport Park layout. Ian Woodward's been one of the main driving forces in this category. The Pontiac is off and running down at turn one. Nice mix of cars, mainly Mustangs, but there's a few unique beasts in here as well. There's that Plymouth, car number 20, Ian Palmer. It is a good-looking car.
Ian Woodward leads them through turn number one, down to the left-hander at turn number two. Getting pretty tight here. 72 makes a run down the inside, takes the grass.
Sean English out of control. Takes Shane Cowan with him, and damage to the front left of Cowan's Mustang, so that's two down.
He'll be very unhappy about that. He copped that cold.
And that's not the great way to start, but we're off and rolling with the Trans Ams, category that started in Queensland, that is making its first run here, and it's for cars that run between 1963 and 1974. And it comes to two-door, four-seat, rear-wheel drive, V8 powered American sedans, and now the racing's getting good. Down the inside, there's a move. Craig Harris, the former touring car and V8 supercar privateer, putting a move on there and slipping on up the order. That's position number 3, but the leaders are getting away. This is really close as they come back through Corporate Hill, and the leader's off the road. Ian Woodward is off through, well, the grass, the bitumen, finds the bitumen again, but he's got a whole pile of work to do now.
The one who's selected reverse in this one was Tobias Lord in the old Kevin Bartlett car. Here we go down the first corner. Sean English.
Shannon's replay.
Straight across the racetrack. That's how busy he was.
Locked the rears, hit the grass. Shane Cowan just gets hit off the road. Contact. Shane Wilson in the Mustang takes avoiding action as well. This is what it felt like. Oops. You could see him coming as well, but couldn't do anything about it on the Shannon's replay. So Trans Am's turning on the action in the early laps here at Sydney Motorsport Park. There's Anthony Tenkate in the green Mustang. That's one way to stand out when you've got a car that's lurid in such a colour scheme, but really good mix here. Really enjoying what the Trans Am cars have got to bring, and Brett Curran is in that Mustang GT500 Shelby, that white car. There he is chasing Craig Harris, but the leaders, they've got away.
Well, they've got away. The thing that impresses me is how much these guys rely on brakes in turn number 2. They just dive down the inside, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Of course, all of these cars are on a Hoosier cross-ply tyre, so certainly giving them the grip that they need. Ian Woodward around the outside, one pulling off to the inside, so a little bit of drama in the early couple of laps. Because there's two classes in the Trans Am category. They've got the outright for the big bangers, and then there's the 5-litre class for the smaller capacity cars. But the racing here is really good. Have a look at this. Brett Curran under fire from Craig Harris. John English out in front's got away. Terry Carter has looped the AMC Javelin. And not quite sure if he's going to get that one going, but nevertheless, it's John English who leads the way in the Shannon's Trans Ams. More action for the Muscle Car Masters when we come back to Sydney Motorsport Park.
Back here at Sydney Motorsport Park, John English, the race leader, Craig Harrison second. Brett Curran runs in third place as they round the right-hander and head down the short straight. And
this is the Trans Am category. This is the fight for second, and as Mike mentioned, Craig Harris doing a nice job here in the Mustang. So the Mustangs are 1, 2 and 3. They're the dominant car in terms of numbers in this Trans Am category that fired up in Queensland a few years ago. It's continuing to work away. There's the cool car. Ian Palmer in that new Plymouth AA Barracuda, it does stand out
It
slightly.
certainly does, and sounds good too.
This is on board the Shannon's in-car with Sean English, who had a little drama on the first lap of this race. He's starting to make a little bit of a recovery job.
He's trying to work his way here on the inside as they come back onto the start-finishing straight and see if horsepower comes into play here.
He's trying to get a move here on Martin O'Kane in the Camaro. I reckon he's got some power here. Down the inside on the run to turn 1. Got it done.
He sweeps into turn 1 now. A little movement in the wheel, but still, John English is your race leader and running away from the rest of it, although it has tightened up in the last lap.
Yeah, Craig Harris is closing in here. Flames belching from the back of that Mustang side, I should say. John English, of course, is the man that you delivered that infamous line as he went through the concrete wall at the top of Mount Panorama some years ago, but he's under fire here. Harris, the flames licking out of the side of that 88 Mustang. Change of the lead on the last lap.
Harris in car number 88 has gone through to take over the lead. Whether he'll be able to hold out English, we'll have to wait and see. They are very tight indeed out of that corner, up the hill and now down to the right-hander.
5-lapper. We're on the final lap for the Trans Ams, and Craig Harris has made his move at the right time. Of course, we've seen Craig race before in V8 supercars. He raced in the Group C touring car era in Falcons and Capris and the like, but he's now in a V8 Mustang and really enjoying this category of racing. It's got a lot of Queensland drivers here this weekend. I think there's only one non-Queensland driver in the class, slightly outnumbered if it comes to state of origin.
I think you might be right. It'd be very hard to field a New South Wales team here. But he's done a good job. He sweeps out of the top corner to Craig Harris, still leading this one. John English in second. And back to Brent Curran in third place. Seen some great competition from there. The cars sound absolutely terrific.
And they look the part as well. Look at the background. That's Ian Woodward in the white Pontiac trying to recover after running off the road earlier on. He's going to try to get a move there on Ian Palmer on this final lap. John English has set the fastest lap of this race back on lap 2, but he's not going to be in the position that he needs to be. There's Woodward. He's got through on Ian Palmer on this run to the line in the final lap of this one. Great to see a dry track for the Trans Am cars to run on. Craig Harris made his move at the best possible time, the last lap, and he takes out the win in the Shannon's Trans Am race. Great job. John English is home in second. Brett Curran in the Mustang Shelby GT500 next from Ian 10K. Ian Woodward next from Ian Palmer. Tobias Lloyd in the Camaro. Lindsay Kearns in the Mustang rounded out the top 8.